tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, this morning I had explained. So how Jakku Samvara, Jakkundriya Samvara, so it's kept. So I've gone to the witty process. This morning I wrote in the whiteboard. The first in the mental process. So this mental process refers to the whole, the process of the witty. Like for example, if you contemplate on the seeing, this seeing is not just, you cannot see so I'm faculty or I'm consciousness only, you cannot see. So for us, if we are mindful about the seeing or hearing or whatever it is, it means that the whole witty process. So the minds, the consciousness, which are included in the whole witty process, each consciousness, a single consciousness, we cannot see. So when we are aware of, when we are making the mental note, seeing, or hearing, smelling, it means that the whole witty process. So it means one witty, not one single consciousness. At this point also we should be clear. Like according to the witty process, according to the Abhidhamma, we know Adida Bhuanga Jalana, Bhuangu Bicheda, Penja Dwara Vujana, Jakku Viññāna, eye consciousness, receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness. So determining consciousness, the Javana process, the Dharamana. But a single, so a single consciousness, so which comprise in the whole witty process cannot be seen. What we see, what we are aware is the whole mental process. So because of this, in the commentary also it is explained that if you guard, if you protect your eye faculty, means that you protect, so like you prevent, so in your mind door, in your eye door, from the rising of akusala chaitas. To prevent the rising of, or to stop rising of the akusala chaitas or kilesas are called protecting or guarding Jakkundriya, the Jakkundriya Samvara. So we cannot just protect unconsciousness only, because according to the Abhidhamma, in the unconsciousness, no kusala, no akusala rise. Unconsciousness is just vibhaka chaitas. But akusala chaita rise at the moment of the javana. So we protect the javana, in this way we protect the unconsciousness, or we protect the Jakkundriya, eye faculty. So look at the commentary. So when does samvara arises? That will be niwa boinga samaye. Na awujana dina enyatra samaye. Samvara wa as samvara wa ati. Niwa ati na ati. At the time of boinga, or at the time of the awujana here means benja dwara awujana chaitas. In a certain moment, there is no samvara or asamvara. At the moment, no restraint or no restraint. No restraint or no unrestrained. The Jawana Kanipana Saji Dosilianwa, Mota Sajanwa, Anyananwa, Ekandiwa, Gosijanwa, Obijadi, Yam Asanwara Hodi. Jawana Kanipana, Bana Bat, at the moment of Jawana. Obijadi, now do you see the Saji, Obijadi? Obijadi is the verb, subject is Dosilianwa. Mota Sejanwa, Anyananwa, Ekandiwa, Gosijanwa, Obijadi. If dosilia means immorality, Mota Seja, forgetfulness, Anyana, ignorance, Ekandi, so Ekandi, Kandi means endurance, no endurance, Gosija, laziness. All of these words are, except the Ekandi, all of words are neuter genders. If immorality, forgetfulness, ignorance, no endurance, laziness rise, it is yam asanwara hodi, it is asanwara. In what moment, in which moment, Jawanakani? The Jawanakana decides Sanwara or Asanwara. Dosilia is opposite to the Sila Sanwara. Mota Seja opposite to the Sati Sanwara. Okay, you should write down at the same time. Anyana is opposite to the Jnana Sanwara. Ekandi opposite to the Kandi Sanwara. Koseja opposite to the Vuriya Sanwara. Dosilia Chetana. What is the Dosilia Chetana? The Chetana, the volition to kill. If there is a volition, when the volition rises to kill, the volitional activity, to kill, to steal, to tell lies, and so on. Such a chetana associated with killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and the telling lies is called dosilia. The chetana is here is akusala chetana. So Agusala Chetana is when Agusala Chetana is connected to killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, telling lies, and so on, it is called Dosilia Chetana. So Mota Seja, forgetfulness. So Mota Seja is called mindfulness not exist anymore. Mindfulness is not practiced. It is a Mota Seja. Mota Seja. So for the Pali students, how do you divide? Pali students. What kind of word? Can you guess? Huh? Okay, so now is Mota Sati plus A, Mota Seja. Okay. Mota means, broken, the released. The Sati is no more, the Mota. Ajnana is opposite to the Jnana Samvara. What is the Jnana Samvara? Mega Jnana, this is Jnana Samvara. Vipassana is also called Jnana Samvara. If we use the four requisites with the knowledge, also Jnana Samvara. So Ajnana is opposite to Jnana. Kandi Samvara. So Kandi Samvara prevents from the rising of Akandi. Sila Samvara restrains Dosiliya. Sati Samvara restrains. Sati Samvara makes not to happen. Makes Sila Samvara makes Mota Sija not to happen. Jnana Samvara makes Ajnana not to happen. Khandi Samvara makes Akhandi not to rise. Viriya Samvara makes Koseja not to rise. So protect from the rising of Dosiliya is called protection from the rising of the Dosiliya is called Sila Samvara. Protection from the rising of Mota Sija is called Sati Samvara. Protection from rising of Ajnana is called Jnana Samvara. Protection from rising of Khandi is called Akhandi. Protection from the rising of Koseja is called Viriya Samvara. Okay. So this Dosiliya, Mota Sija, Ajnana, Akhandi, Koseja is realized at the Javana movement. So according to the unconsciousness, we are supposed to see. According to the Benjarora Vajana, so this Bhuvenga Jeta stops, ceased. There is one consciousness. This Benjarora Vajana Jeta makes the other consciousness to advert to the Ain door and to the five dwaras, Panjan dwaras. According to the Sambrechana Jeta will rise always. You cannot stop those Sambrechana Jeta, Sandirana Jeta, Vatavana Jeta, they will rise. But depending on the, the Jeta and the, Aramana. So sometimes a deep Aramana with you, those Jetas may not rise. But when normally the object is very big, the eye also very good. At the moment, usually those consciousness arise. So we cannot stop them. We cannot change them, what I mean is. So what we can change is Javana. In the Javana movement, we can change. So what we want to be. So we want Kusala Jeta to rise or we want Akusala Jeta to rise. It is at the moment of the Javana. So to make Kusala Jetas to rise, we need to have Yonisamanasikara. If we have the Ayonisamanasikara, there is no chance of rising of Kusala Jetas. Akusala Jeta will continue. Because of this commentary said, Bhuvenga Samaye, Tatabi Niwa Samaye, Na Awujana Dina, Inyatra Samaye, Samrowa Asamrowa Ati. Javana Kanipana Saje, Dosilianwa, Mota Sijanwa, Ajnana, Akhandiwa, Kosejanwa, Opejadi, Ayam Asamra Hodi. Ewa Hondobi, so Jakundri, Asamrodi, Ojadi. Even if so Jakundri, Asamrodi, Ojadi. Actually, we don't need to change, we cannot change Awujana and so on. But we can change Ewa Hondobi when it is like this. He is called, not restraining eye faculty. The customer doesn't mean he's a Dwarambi Agoda Hoti. So doesn't mean he's a when this Agusala Javana, Agusala Jetas, here according to the commentary, when the Dosiliya and rises, the Dwara is also said to be unguarded. Dwara is said to be unguarded. The door is not protected. Gauta means protected or guarded. Agauta is not guarded. The door is also unguarded, not guarded. When tassamai sati, when Mota Sija and so on rises, that's the main locative case. Sati also locative case. So Bhuvenga also not protected. Avijana and so on also not protected. Virijeta and so on, all of the Virijetas are not protected. So protecting idol means not to make Agusala Jeta to rise in the at the Javana time. In the Javana time, if you allow Agusala Jeta rise, it means you cannot protect your idol. So idol is one thing, Javana is another thing. Idol is one consciousness, Javana is another consciousness. Actually, they are not the same. But if you protect the Javana, it means you protect the unconsciousness. So it is, like two different things happen at the same time. It seems, it looks like. Sometimes it means, like not logical. So then the commentator explains with us as with the examples. Yatha ge. Okay, I want to tutor this paragraph. Yatha nagari. Okay, now we will analyze this sentence. So Rakita Gobita, Rakati Gobiti, which means protect or guard it. So Kutaka, the chamber or maybe stay away. Stay away. So, and don't Nagara inside the city. Because for the beginners, they might not know this term. And don't Nagara inside the city. Banda goods. Goods are banda. So Yarai Chandi whatever they want, whatever they wish. So as they like. Otherwise, so Gabba, Kutaga, Gabba also chamber. Dwara is door, everyone knows. Gara, house. So Chora is thief. Chorario, thief, and so on. So and so on. Adi, adiyo. Like a munio, adi, adiyo. Chora diyo. Agobida, guarded, agobida, am guarded. So yatha, justice. So kinjabi. Even though kinjabi. Tathabi, but. Tathabi, but. Yatha means justice. So yatha nagari, town. Chatusu dwaresu asamudesu. Kenjabi ando gara kotaka gabadiyo susamuda tathabi. Ando nagari sabambandam arakidam agobida mewa hoti. Nagare chatusu dwaresu asamudesu. Okay? So this is a locative absolute. When the four doors are not closed in this city, but you can translate Samudra is a close, depending on the context. Okay? When the four doors are not closed, even though ando gara kuthabaga ando gara kuthaga gabadiyo susamuda. But even though in the city, inside the city, in the houses, kuthaga gabba, the chambers, stairways, and the doors are closed, but inside the city, Andonagri, Sabambandam, Arakidam, Agobida Mewahoti, all of the goods, Sabambandam, is not protected, not guarded. So in the ancient time, they have cities. The cities are surrounded by the walls, city walls, like. So when you go to visit the Mandalay, you can see city walls. In the China also, in the Forbidden City, city walls. So these city walls are, that they closed at the night time. Maybe when the enemy attacks, at that time they closed. So this seemingly, this example the means when you don't close the doors in the city walls, even though you close the doors in your house, but it means it is not protected, not guarded. Why? Negara dwarena buwisaytawa jora yarechandi dam kreyo. It is true, he means, it is true. The thieves enter by the city door and they would do whatever they wish. Okay? They would do whatever they wish. So the thieves enter the city by the city doors. Because the doors are open in the city walls, the thieves or the robbers, so anyone can, enter freely. So even though you close the door of your own house, but the thieves still accessible to your house. Because of this, your house is not safe, because the city walls are not closed. So here, Jawana is similar to the city walls. The door of the house are similar to the infidelity, Bowenga, Sambrechana, Sandirana, and so on. Iwa mewa Jawane, Dosilia disu opanisu. Tasame asan warisati. Dwarambi. Agouda hoti, Bowengambi, Awujana dini, Wiri Jeta nipiti. Similarly, Jawane dosilia dis openis, Jawana is similar compared to city doors, the doors in the city walls. So dosilia disu openis Jawane, okay? Dosilia disu is subject. Obanesu is the verb. It is a locative absolute. When the dosilia and so on rise in the jawana. Tasamay asamwarisati. When the asamwara, when there is asamwara, when there is asamwara. Dwarambi agoda hoti. I'm door also not protected. Bowenga is also not protected. Awujana and so also Awujana and so Witichedas are also not protected. So Nagara Dwarena he Puisetawa Jora Yarechani Tankreyo. Ewa mewa Jawani dosilia disu obanesu. When the dosilia and so in the Jawana rise. When there is asamwara, Dwara is no, the door is not protected. So the commentator, start this argument with the first paragraph, and now we go back to the Tata Kenjabi Chakundari Samrowa Asamrowa Nati. Do you still remember? Indeed, there is no samvara or asamvara in the Chakundariya, infidelity. So where this samvara is? Where is this samvara? Where is this asamvara? But the Buddha said Chakundariya samvara samvuto. So Chakundariya samvara samvuto, the Buddha said, and down with the restraint on the infidelity. But the commentator said, no samvara asamvara in the Chakundariya. So the two words are opposite to each other. So in the canonical text, Chakundariya samvara. But he said no samvara in the Chakundariya. So for this he explains, Nahi Chakupasara Nesaya Sati wa Mota Sitya wa Ubijati. The Sati, where Sati rise, when does Sati rise? In what moment Sati rise? So when the I consciousness arises, how many mental properties associated with the I consciousness? For the senior students, or some students who have learned the Pali or the Abhidhamma, how many mental properties associated with the I consciousness? 7. What are they? Phassa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Ekagara, Jivitendriya, Manasikara. 7. So, is there sati or not? I mean the sati Chetasika. No. When the I consciousness rises, sati is not associated with. So, Chakondriya Samvara, mindfulness or I faculty or maybe I door is, what does it mean? This is the problematic issue, So when you compare with the Abhidhamma, so Chakondriya Samvara, Chakondriya, we know the I faculty or I door, This I door is a protect or restraint. So restrain I door from the rising of Akusala Jaitas. So Chakondriya Samvara also another place a commentator explains. Chakondriya Samvara means mindfulness or I door. Actually, mindfulness is not associated with the I consciousness. How do we understand? It may be contrary to the Abhidhamma. So for this, the commentator explains extensively. Nahi Chakupasada Nesaya Sati wa Muta Sitya wa Upajati. Sati or Sati, the Kusala Chetasika. Muta Sitya, Akusala Chetasika. So this Akusala Chetasika no rise depending on the Chakupasada. Okay, now that he continues to explain Jada Rupa Ramana, Jakusa Abata Agechari and so on. So when the Rupa Ramana visible object appear to the eyes, there, Boengu Picheda, okay? That this morning I talk about. Pejadora Vujana, Jaku Vinyana, Sambrichana, Sandirana, Watabana, Jawana, Dadaramana. But all of these processes are called Jakhu Dwara Viti. How do we call? Jakhu Dwara Viti. The whole process is called Jakhu Dwara Viti. So all of these consciousness rise depending on the unconsciousness. So Jakhu Dwara Viti. So within the Jakhu Dwara Viti, now we can see the Javana process. Actually, Sati or Muta Sija rise in the Javana process. But even though it rises in the Javana process, but it's connected to the unconsciousness. Without unconsciousness, this Javana cannot rise. So because of this, in the original text, the Buddha said, Chakondriya Samvara. But according to the Abhidhamma, if you analyze in detail how this unconsciousness, normally we say that we talk about when you see something, I see. See means not just unconsciousness. Together with the seeing, we have feelings, So we have like some specific emotions. Those emotions, like unwholesome or wholesome consciousness, automatically included when we talk about the we see. When we talk about the we hear, at the time, just to hear very precise working of the ear sensitivity, it includes all of them. Like together with the hearing, it means also emotions, wholesome or unwholesome consciousness are included. But according to the Buddha's Sabhayuta Jnana, we come to know, or it is not only like Kusala and Akusala Jaitas, there is also inclusion of the before Kusala and Akusala Jaitas. There has been Bhavanga Jaitas, Abhijadora Vijana Jaitas, Sambrachana, Sandirana. Only the Buddha can distinguish such a walking off mental and the material properties. Other people could not distinguish, could not analyze, could not see them. By means of the Abhidhamma also expounded by the Buddha. According to the Buddha's Abhidhamma expounded by the Buddha, we come to know in the unconsciousness, Chakudvara Viti, in the seeing process, we can say. It is not only the Kusala and Akusala, there is also unconsciousness, there is also adverting consciousness, there is receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness, and many consciousness are working together. Not by our own knowledge, but by the knowledge of the Buddha, by the wisdom of the Buddha, we come to know. But generally, in the daily life, when we communicate with the people, so like, do you see the flower? Okay, I see. So I see means, the whole, it refers to the whole process of waiting. So in the inside meditation practice also, in the commentaries also, it is recommended that when you contemplate on the seeing means not just unconsciousness alone. It means that the whole process of Chakudvara Viti. This Chakudvara Viti also not arise one time. Many times it arises. Because according to the Abhidhamma, within a split of second, the mental process rise and disappear. The mental movements. It is the 100,000 lakh, 100,000 lakh movements. So like a one witty process is so short, we could not say, I don't know, we cannot know. Only the Buddha can see that. So many witties arise, when you see something, when you hear something. So many after, the rising of the many witties, we come to know this is a flower. So our, the knowledge so weak, so blind, we cannot see that. It is, the feet of the Buddha's knowledge. After rising of the, hundreds of thousands times of the Chakudvara Viti, we come to know, oh, this is a flower. So then, we like this flower, we don't like this flower. Who puts this flower? So why he put this flower? Because I don't like it. For example, Akusala and Akusala Jeta also at the moment, actually many times Akusala Jeta happen rise, and we come to know I have Akusala Jetas. So as soon as Akusala Jeta and wholesome consciousness rise, we could not detect. But if you want to detect the unwholesome the consciousness which rise at the moment, you need to have very sharp vipassana knowledge of mindfulness. Many times, these, Akusala Jetas are come and go. Finally, we are aware, oh, I have Akusala Jetas. At that time, this Akusala Jetas are already formed. So mindfulness, if you practice mindfulness very sharp, then you can detect this Akusala Jeta as soon as it rises. Then you can stop it. Because when you are aware of Akusala Jeta at the moment, what kind of Jeta arises? Sati. The sati means Akusala Jeta arises. Awareness of the Akusala Jeta is Kusala Jeta. The Kusala Jeta is substituted or replaced by the Kusala Jetas. As soon as you know this is Akusala Jeta, then Akusala Jeta disappears. But when this Akusala Jeta is so powerful, then it will appear again directly. As soon as you notice, then it will appear again. Then you notice it again. Then this appears again. You notice it again. Finally, if your mindfulness is persistent, then this Akusala Jeta will disappear. Because of this, in the suttas also, many times it mentioned some, the monks, some people, they, the whole night they could not sleep. They are fighting with the Kama Vitaka, Pyabada Vitaka, Vihisa Vitaka the whole night. But even though they know this, I have the Kama Vitaka rise in me, but he knows, but this Kama Vitaka is so powerful. Sometimes also, we want to attach to the desire, for example. We have desire, sometimes we want to have desire. So, especially when some people are getting older, they have lost some appetite. So, in the, when they were young, whatever they eat, they like it. It is good food, delicious. Whatever objects they see, for them it is good. But the people are getting older and older, eye sensitivity and the ear sensitivity, those things becomes weaker and weaker. The desire for some things or appetite is lost. At that time, they want to restore their desire. So they think to have a desire is good, to have no desire is not good. At the same time, the Buddha said to discard, to abandon the desire. So this is the nature of the ordinary people. We are Buddha-janas. Sometimes we have lost appetites. In my hometown, when we were young, there is one pagoda festival. So at that time we were maybe around 11 years old. We used to go there. We eat some food like a fried chicken or something like this. It's very good, very delicious. So maybe some years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I met, I came across that festival again when I went back to my hometown. Then I wanted to have such a taste. I went there. I tried that food again, but I have lost my appetite. I could not enjoy that. But I thought, at that time, it is very good, very delicious for me. Now, not delicious. Then, I thought if I have such a, appetite again, it will be good. This means I am attached to that desire again. So this is, the mind is so tricky. Sometimes we have a desire for, like 1,000 jets, but sometimes we don't have a desire for the 100 jets. Some people think I don't have a desire because I have no desire for the 100 jets, $100 maybe, for example. But the desire for the $1,000 or 1,000 jets still remain. So okay, I do have a desire for the $1,000, but still we have desire for the $1 million. If someone pay you $1 million, your desire will rise again, So this is this attachment or greed, so assumed different forms. It has many forms. It takes the different forms. In many ways, we are tricked. This is also we can call the Daithi Vibalasa, Senya Vibalasa, or Chaita Vibalasa. Because of this, when the Buddha got the enlightenment, at that time, Mara sent his 3 daughters. The younger one, very young, is 16 years old. The middle one, it is maybe about the 30 or 35. The other one is, the married woman, with the children. Then now Reddy Braga, 3 daughters are sent to lure the Buddha, to tempt. So this, attachment also will be blind depending on the different conditions. But the Buddha completely eradicated all of this, tanha. No one can lure him. So like this lobha is very, very tricky, Okay, I can give up, like my house, like my money, but I cannot give up my name. We want to still keep name. So whatever we do, we still help for something. This is also desire. The other day also I talk about. Some people, they don't have desire for the money. They don't have desire for the position. They don't have desire for power, but they have desire for the name. But desire to for having the name is maybe a little better than desire for the money and the house. So anyway, all of them are desires. So what is speciality of the bodhisattvas? When they fulfill the paramis, they don't have a desire for the money, they don't have a desire for the name, they don't have a desire for any house or position. What they desire is to have a Samyutta Jnana only. So in this way, they can do more than any ordinary persons. Even though, okay, I don't have a good name because of this action, no problem. I will do the kusala karma. At least we will do the kusala karma, but we want at the same time, we let at the same time people to know I'm doing the kusala karma. So, some of, people, they are living in the forest, like, the forest Dudinga, But at the same time, they let other people to know I'm living in the forest to practice meditation. So living in the forest means giving up everything. But no, we could not give up one thing, to get a good name. Okay, we pray.